When money comes from God, keep quiet and stay wise. Listen carefully. When your season of abundance finally arrives, when what you prayed for in silence begins to show itself in your hands, when the drought turns into rivers and your empty hands begin to overflow, that is not the time to shout. That is the time to bow. The loudest worship is not always the one that people hear. It is the one that is expressed through your discipline, your humility, and your silence. When money comes from God, you don't boast, you build. You don't parade your blessings, you protect them with wisdom. For many, money becomes a trap, not because money is evil, but because the heart loses direction once it tastes prosperity. The blessing that was meant to lift them becomes the reason they fall. But the one who understands the source knows that money is not the price God is. Money is only the evidence that God has trusted you with something bigger than yourself. It is a test of maturity, not a certificate of success. It is God's way of saying, I have watched you in the valley, now let me see you on the mountain. When God blesses you, silence becomes a shield. You must learn to move quietly, because not everyone who claps for you wants your blessing to multiply. Some smile but pray in secret that you fall. Some say congratulations, but in their heart they plot your downfall. And so God gives the wise a silent spirit when He begins to lift them. He teaches them the beauty of being hidden even while they rise. Do not announce your wealth. Let your peace announce it. Do not display your prosperity. Let your discipline display. Because when God gives, it's not for the world to see. It's for His purpose to be fulfilled through you. There is a season when you cry out to God for provision. You fast, you pray, you wait. And then one day, doors open, business flows, ideas expand, opportunities multiply, the accounts that once read zero begin to overflow, and your spirit rejoices. But hear me, this is the moment when spiritual maturity is tested. Many can praise God when they have nothing, but few can stay humble when they have everything. God watches how you handle wealth the same way. He watched how you handled waiting. When you had nothing, you were on your knees. Now that you have something, do you still bow? When money comes from God, it carries an assignment. Every coin, every opportunity, every open door is tied to purpose. Money given by God is not meant to make you boast. It is meant to make you build. Build your family, build your future, build others, build what glorifies God. Money in the hands of the wise multiplies life, but money in the hands of the proud multiplies destruction. So when God fills your hands, ask not, how much do I have? Ask God, what do you want me to do with this? Because divine provision always comes with a divine instruction. Silence is a form of gratitude. When God elevates you financially, silence tells heaven, I am grateful and I am guarding what you've given me. You see, not everything that is blessed needs to be broadcasted. The wise learn to hide their treasures, not out of fear, but out of discernment. There are spiritual vultures who feed on the noise of those who cannot keep quiet. When you talk too much about your blessing, you open spiritual doors for envy to enter. But when you stay silent, God Himself becomes your God. When God gives you money, do not make it your new master. Let it remain your servant. Do not let your wealth speak louder than your worship. Do not let prosperity replace purity. Do not let luxury silence prayer. Do not let abundance dull your hunger for the presence of God. For the true danger of wealth is not the money itself, it is the arrogance that can follow it. The same hands that once begged God for a miracle can become the hands that forget Him. But the one who stays humble, quiet, and wise becomes a channel of divine increase. God will keep pouring because He knows that your heart will never worship what your hands hold. There are people who lose everything the moment they start showing off. They post what they should protect. They talk about what they should treasure in silence. They attract envy, jealousy, and the eyes of those whose hearts are darkened by comparison. That is why when your blessing comes, stay quiet. Let people wonder how you prospered. Let them guess how it happened. You owe no one an explanation for what God is doing in your life. Because when you explain too much, you invite contamination into what God is still building. When money comes from God, it does not come to destroy your character. It comes to reveal it. The humble will become more generous, but the proud will become unbearable. Money only multiplies what's inside you. So if your heart is right, your wealth will bless many. But if your heart is corrupt, your wealth will destroy you. That is why God delays prosperity for some people, not because He doesn't want them to prosper, but because He wants their hearts to mature first. He wants them to learn contentment before increase. He wants them to learn gratitude before abundance. He wants them to learn silence before success. Be careful not to let your blessing speak louder than your faith. The richest people in spirit are often the quietest in speech. They understand that wealth is not for showing off, it is for showing wisdom. The one who truly understands prosperity never brags, never competes, never compares. They know that real success is peace, real prosperity is balance. Real wealth is having God's favor, not people's approval. When money comes from God, it comes with peace. But when money comes from pride, it comes with problems. You must also understand that not every blessing is meant to be shared with everyone. Some things God gives you in secret because He wants to protect you. There are blessings meant for your eyes only. There are doors that are not to be announced until they are secured. There are opportunities that lose their power when they are spoken too soon. So stay quiet when God begins to lift you. Learn to move in silence while heaven shouts over you. The greatest power is in hidden progress. The strongest faith is in quiet obedience. Some people destroy their own favor by talking too much. They expose what should be concealed. They boast about what should be protected. And the moment they do, opposition rises, enemies awaken, and jealousy begins to war. But the wise, those who walk closely with God, understand that silence is safety. When God starts blessing you financially, even your friends will change. Some will begin to distance themselves because they can't handle your elevation. Others will draw near with the hidden motives. That's why you must let God teach you discernment as your wealth grows. Not everyone deserves access to what God gave you. Never let money make you forget where you came from. The same valley that taught you patience must remain in your memory. Remember the nights you prayed with tears, the seasons you had nothing but faith, the moments when you survived on hope alone. Let those memories keep you grounded when you have more than enough. Because the moment you forget your past, you lose the humility that protects your future. Money can build houses, but it cannot build character. It can buy comfort, but it cannot buy peace. Only God gives peace, and peace is what sustains prosperity. When God blesses you, your responsibility increases. Wealth from God is not a decoration, it's an assignment. It means you must now handle resources on behalf of heaven. You become a manager, not an owner. You become a steward of divine trust. So use your money to bless the poor quietly. Use it to lift others without letting your name be known. True generosity is done in silence. The left hand should not know what the right hand is doing, because the moment you are giving becomes a show, it loses its reward. Give quietly. Bless silently. Let your actions speak where your words remain silent. When money comes from God, it brings direction. It doesn't confuse you. It doesn't make you restless. It doesn't make you arrogant. It gives you clarity. You start to see that the purpose of prosperity is not luxury, it's legacy. God doesn't make you rich so you can sit in pride. He makes you rich so you can stand in influence. He doesn't fill your account so you can boast. He fills it so you can become a channel of provision for others. But you can only handle this level of blessing if your heart remains humble and your lips remain quiet. There is a deep connection between humility and preservation. What you hide, God protects. What you expose prematurely, you risk losing. The seed that grows in silence becomes the strongest tree. So when your financial breakthrough arrives, guard it with the silence until it is rooted deep enough to survive storms. Move with wisdom, dress with dignity, spend with balance, speak with caution, walk with humility. Let your wealth be seen in your peace, not in your possessions. Understand this: when you receive money from God, your enemies will awaken. Not because you hurt them, but because your elevation exposed their envy. That's why silence is not weakness, it's warfare. It is how you protect your spirit from unnecessary attacks. Do not argue with those who misunderstand your blessing. Do not try to prove your worth. The proof is already in the peace God gives you. The wise do not defend their success. They demonstrate it through calmness, consistency, and gratitude. There will be moments when people question how you suddenly rose. They will say, "How did it happen?" They will gossip. They will assume. Let them. You do not owe explanations for divine favor. The same God who blessed you will silence their doubts. Keep walking, and keep worshiping in silence. The day will come when your results speak so loudly that your silence will become your loudest testimony. The one who talks too much about wealth invites both admiration and attack. But the one who stays hidden draws divine protection. The quiet rich, the humble successful, the unseen giver, these are the ones God continues to trust because He knows they value purpose over publicity. He knows they seek His will, not people's applause. So when God blesses you financially, close your mouth and open your spirit. Ask for wisdom to manage what you've received. Ask for strength to remain humble. Ask for grace to use it well. Some people lose everything because they wanted everyone to know they had something. Their blessing became their burden because they could not stay silent. But you, when your time comes, stay calm. Let your heart whisper gratitude, not your mouth shout it before men. God loves the sound of hidden gratitude. The quiet thank you spoken in secret is more powerful than 1,000 public boasts because it comes from purity, not performance. When God brings financial abundance, it is also season of testing. He observes how you treat people who have less. He watches if your tone changes. He listens if your heart still prays the same. He notices if your giving still flows. If your character remains steady, He increases you more. But if your pride grows faster than your gratitude, He withdraws His hand. Because God's blessings are not permanent if pride enters. Only the humble can sustain divine wealth. Remember this: God never gives money to impress you. He gives it to empower you. He doesn't make you rich to compete. He makes you rich to complete His purpose. So when you have wealth, use it as a weapon of goodness. Pay school fees for those who can afford it. Feed those who are hungry. Support dreams. Heal wounds. Restore hope. But do it quietly. The world doesn't need to know the details of your obedience. Only God needs to see it. Because the secret place is where blessings multiply. Even in wealth, remain disciplined. Don't let comfort make you lazy. Keep working. Keep planning. Keep growing. Wealth without vision disappears fast. Money from God demands structure, stewardship, and spiritual awareness. You must learn when to spend, when to save, and when to sow. The unwise scatter what they should have planted. The wise invest what they should have stored. Be strategic. Be prayerful. Be intentional. That's how wealth becomes legacy. Your silence will not only protect your money, it will preserve your peace. You will sleep better when fewer people know your plans. You will live safer when your progress is private. You will walk freer when your success is silent. The noise of the world cannot touch those who dwell in quiet wisdom. So when the blessing comes, guard your environment. Do not let wrong people enter your new season. Some are drawn not to your heart, but to your harvest. That's why discernment is crucial when abundance arrives. Learn to say less and observe more. Listen to how people speak about others who have risen, because that is exactly how they will speak about you. Do not correct them. Simply note who can handle your success and who cannot. Sometimes silence is the greatest filter. Those who truly love you will celebrate you quietly. Those who envy you will reveal themselves through their discomfort. Your job is not to fix them. It is to stay wise and keep walking. Money from God is sacred. It carries His fingerprint. Handle it with reverence. Do not waste it on vanity or impressing others. Use it to fund the purpose. Use it to sow into what has eternal value. Use it to bring light where there is darkness. That is how divine prosperity multiplies. It is never about spending. It's about sending. Sending help, sending hope, sending healing. Your wealth becomes your ministry when handled with wisdom. And when people start to ask why, you're so quiet about your success. Smile and say, because not everything God does in me is for public eyes. Let your humility confuse the proud. Let your discipline convict the careless. Let your silence become a sermon that preaches louder than your words. That is the posture of those who are trusted with divine increase. They shine quietly, build steadily, and give secretly. You must understand too that true wisdom with money is not in how much you earn, but in how much peace you maintain. Some people have millions but can't sleep. Others have little but rest deeply. Why? Because peace is not in the numbers, it's in the source. When money comes from God, it carries calmness. When it comes from self, it carries struggle. So protect your peace more than your profit. If wealth steals your rest, it is no longer a blessing, it has become a burden. There will come a time when God will tell you to give in secret what He gave in abundance. Do not resist. That giving is not loss, it is a test. Every seed you plant in silence will return multiplied. Those who brag about giving have already received their reward, but those who give in silence are storing treasures in eternity. God sees what others do not, and He rewards what others cannot. Stay wise when God prospers you. Don't let every opportunity excite you. Some offers are traps disguised as blessings. Some partnerships are delays wrapped in promises. Pray before you sign anything. Consult God before you commit to anyone. Money that comes from God can easily be lost when you connect it to the wrong people. Be selective. Guard your atmosphere. Your peace is worth more than any profit. When God elevates you, don't change your values, strengthen them. Keep the same humility that brought you this far. Keep the same gratitude that sustained you in lack. Keep the same faith that carried you through darkness. Because the danger of success is forgetting who guided you there. If you keep God first, He will keep everything else in order. If you forget Him, even the strongest structure will crumble. Silence is not weakness, it is strength under control. It is the mark of those who understand the language of heaven. God often moves quietly, and those who reflect Him move the same. The ocean makes no noise, yet it holds infinite power. So when God fills your life with abundance, let your calmness reveal your confidence in Him. Speak only when necessary, and let your fruit speak for you. One day, people will look at your life and say, "How did it happen?" And you will smile, not because you want to explain, but because you know that only God could have done it. That's the beauty of silent prosperity. It glorifies God more than words ever could. When your peace increases, when your joy grows, when your life becomes stable and balanced, people will see that your wealth was not from manipulation or luck, it was from divine alignment. When money comes from God, it is not merely provision, it is purpose wrapped in responsibility. It is heaven's trust placed into human hands. When that divine supply enters your life, understand this truth. Not everything that looks like a success is meant to be shown. Some blessings are sacred, meant to be hidden until their fruit matures. If you reveal them too early, you expose what is still being shaped by the hands of God. When God gives you money, He is not only giving you comfort, He is testing your capacity to remain faithful in silence. He wants to see if you will still depend on Him when your wallet is full. If your voice will still whisper prayers when your needs seem met. There are seasons when God withholds money not to punish you, but to prepare you. He hides wealth behind the work so that by the time you receive it, your character can carry. Because wealth in immature hands becomes a curse, not a blessing. But when the heart is molded in humility, when the spirit is trained in discipline, and when the mouth is taught silence, then wealth becomes a tool of divine influence. It builds, it heals, it uplifts, and it multiplies good. That is why when the blessing finally arrives, silence must remain your companion. Speak only when God instructs. Move only when God directs. Spend only where God approves. For every coin from heaven carries a divine instruction attached to it. Money that comes from God has a fragrance. It smells of peace. It does not cause confusion. It does not demand compromise. It enters quietly but changes everything around you. It aligns your steps, restores your dignity, and empowers your vision. And yet, even in that peace, God watches how you move. He listens to your tone when you speak to others. He observes your attitude toward those still waiting for their breakthrough, because He knows how you treat people. In your abundance determines whether your increase continues or ceases. The humble attract more, while the proud repel divine favor. The heart that says, "God, this is yours. I am only the steward," become the magnet for sustained prosperity. If God can trust you with the money, He can trust you with the influence. And if He can trust you with the influence, He will trust you with the legacy. But it all begins with the restraint, with the wisdom to stay quiet. When the noise of success tempts you to boast, the louder you become, the more you attract the attention of those who do not understand your calling. But when you remain silent, you protect the purity of what God is doing. Silence becomes your armor. It keeps envy far, and it invites divine favor near. Do not let the applause of people deceive you into revealing what God told you to hide. The claps of men can become the chains that trap your destiny. When people start praising your wealth, smile with humility, but never let it enter your spirit. Praise belongs only to God. You may enjoy the blessing, but never take ownership of the glory. For every time you point the glory back to God, you strengthen the roots of your prosperity. You anchor your wealth in heaven's soil, and nothing on earth can uproot it. Some people lose the blessing because they confuse ownership with stewardship. They begin to believe they created their success by their own power, forgetting that it was God who gave the breath, the strength, the wisdom, the opportunities, and the favor. Money without remembrance of God becomes a poison. It blinds the eyes, hardens the heart, and drowns the spirit. But the wise continually remind themselves, everything I have is from God. This simple confession keeps the heart soft and the hand open. The moment you forget that truth, your hand begins to close, and what was flowing begins to stop. The wise man does not chase wealth, he attracts it through alignment with the divine order. When your life honors God, when your character reflects discipline, when your words carry humility, wealth becomes drawn to you naturally. You will not need to manipulate or compete. What is yours will find you, because God Himself is the distributor of resources. And when He releases it into your hands, He expects reverence. You must use it not to dominate others, but to demonstrate wisdom. You must let it become an instrument of peace, not the symbol of pride. The quiet rich are the ones who last. They don't shout about their riches, but their impact speaks across generations. They walk with peace, talk with restraint, and give without noise. They do not need to announce their generosity because heaven announces it for them. That is what happens when money comes from God. It carries a light that cannot be hidden, even when you walk silently. Your presence begins to command respect, not because you are loud, but because you are consistent, calm, and wise. Understand that every divine blessing has a gatekeeper, and that gatekeeper is character. Before God releases great wealth, He tests your attitude toward small amounts. If you complain over little, you will corrupt much. If you are careless with little, you will be reckless with abundance. But when you are faithful in the small, God begins to enlarge your capacity. So when He finally gives you what you prayed for, stay faithful to the same principle that brought you there. The same prayer that opened the door must be the prayer that sustains it. The same discipline that attracted favor must be the discipline that protects it. When God begins to bless you, not everyone will understand. Some will say, you changed. Others will accuse you of pride simply because you now have a peace. Do not argue. Do not defend yourself. Let your fruits speak louder than your explanations. Let your wisdom answer their noise. For those who truly walk with God know that prosperity is not about showing, it's about shining. You shine through your integrity. You shine through your patience. You shine through the way you handle power quietly. Every coin that enters your hand should have a mission. Ask yourself, is this money fulfilling God's purpose in my life? If it is only feeding vanity, you are mismanaging a divine resource. But if it is building, helping, uplifting, and blessing, then you are multiplying what God entrusted you with. Remember, money that fulfills purpose multiplies itself. But money that feeds ego eventually evaporates. The wise do not chase more. They manage well. That is how divine provision sustains itself. There are moments when God will ask you to give secretly, to bless someone without your name being mentioned. Obey that whisper. It is in those quiet acts that heaven measures the sincerity of your heart. You do not need an audience to be obedient. The greatest rewards come from the seeds planted in silence. While others chase recognition, chase righteousness, while others seek fame, seek favor, while others count followers, count blessings. When you learn to keep quiet after receiving wealth, you also protect your spiritual hearing. Noise distorts discernment. If you start boasting and talking too much, you lose the stillness needed to hear divine instruction. But in silence, God continues to speak. He will guide you on where to invest, who to trust, when to give, and when to wait. That is how He preserves those He prospers. The loud ones fall quickly because they mistake excitement for direction. The quiet ones rise steadily because they move with divine timing. The wealthy who remain humble understand that their real treasure is not in the bank, it is in their peace, their health, and their relationship with God. They do not measure success by possession, but by purpose. They may have gold, but they serve God, not gold. And because of that heart posture, their riches continue to serve them rather than enslave them. The moment you start serving money, it becomes your master. But when you make money serve God's plan, it becomes your instrument. When God elevates you financially, you will notice that He starts removing certain people from your circle. Do not resist it. Some cannot handle your new season. Some will start comparing instead of celebrating. Some will secretly envy what you carry. God removes them not because you hate them, but because He wants to protect you. Learn to detach peacefully. You do not need to explain every distance. Let silence do the separation. When you stay quiet, you allow God to fight the unseen battles around your blessing. Always remember that the greatest enemy of wealth is pride. Pride whispers, you did this, but wisdom whispers, God allowed this. The moment you start believing the former, your downfall begins. Pride steals what gratitude sustains. Gratitude is the spiritual lock that keeps your blessing from leaking away. So every morning you wake up in abundance, whisper quietly, thank you, God, I am nothing without you. That whisper carries more power than any public declaration. It invites God to stay involved in your success. True. Prosperity is not measured by the number of possessions, but by the depth of peace in your soul. If your wealth costs you your peace, it is not from God. If it makes you anxious, competitive, and restless, it has become a trap. But when the source is divine, peace flows naturally. You sleep deeply, you give freely, you live calmly. That is the signature of wealth from heaven. It blesses without burden. And yet, even as you walk in peace, be alert. The enemy of your soul will try to use money to distract you from purpose. He will tempt you with comparison, competition, and comfort. But you must remember, purpose is greater than possession. The mission God gave you is worth more than the lifestyle you dream of. Money is a tool to serve your calling, not a throne to sit on. Let your wealth work for your destiny, not against it. When God gives money, He gives it with the expectation of multiplication. Not just multiplication in numbers, but multiplication in impact. What He gives you is meant to touch others. Your wealth is meant to become light in someone else's darkness. But you can only achieve that if you remain wise and silent. Because the moment you begin to seek praise for what you give, the spiritual reward diminishes. Stay quiet and let heaven keep the record. God's record keeping is more reliable than human recognition. In the stillness of prosperity, you find the highest form of worship, obedience. When your heart says, God, even in abundance, I am yours, that is worship. When your lips stay sealed, but your actions echo generosity, that is worship. When you could boast, but choose gratitude, that is worship. When you have more than enough, but still live with discipline, that is worship. True worship is not in sound, it is in submission. So when money comes from God, guard your heart like a sacred garden. Do not let pride grow there. Water it with gratitude. Fence it with humility. Keep the weeds of comparison away. And watch how God continues to add more, not because you asked, but because He can trust you. He adds to those who stay faithful in silence. And if there comes a time when your wealth attracts critics, stay calm. Let them talk. You do not need to justify divine favor. You do not need to explain your growth to those who cannot understand your grace. Silence is your best defense, for in the quiet, God Himself speaks on your behalf. He will turn your critics into witnesses. He will turn your silence into a testimony that cannot be denied. Because at the end of it all, the wealth that comes from God is not just about possession, it is about preparation. He blesses you so you can be a blessing. He fills you so you can pour out. He enriches you so you can extend His goodness across the earth. And the one who understands this truth never lets money corrupt their peace or contaminate their purpose. They stay rooted in silence, clothed in wisdom, and covered by divine grace. When money comes from God, the wisest thing you can do is stay quiet, stay grateful, and stay grounded. Because true wealth is not measured by what fills your account. It is measured by what fills your heart. When the blessing finally reaches your hands, let humility rise higher than your possessions. Let gratitude speak louder than your success. And let your peace shine brighter than your prosperity. God gives not to inflate your ego, but to increase your impact. He blesses you not to make you boast, but to make you a vessel of His abundance. So protect what He gives you with silence. Guard it with wisdom. Build with purpose. And remember always, the wealth that comes from God is not a display. It is a divine trust. Handle it with reverence. Manage it with discipline. Multiply it with integrity. Because when you stay humble in prosperity, when you keep God at the center of your abundance, no storm can shake you, no envy can touch you, and no loss can destroy you. Those who boast fade quickly, but those who stay silent rise steadily. Those who brag attract trouble, but those who move wisely attract the divine protection. Those who worship money lose peace, but those who worship God gain everything. So walk in quiet strength. Let your success whisper. Let your heart remain low, even as your blessings rise high. And never forget, the same God who gave it can give more again and again to the one who remains faithful, silent, and wise.